I'm about to fly to California. What? Oh, this little old thing? This is a badge. Well, some people might call it a small sign. Why am I wearing it around my neck? Well, if Senator Mark DeSaulnier has his way, he's a state senator in California, he's introduced Senate Bill 448. It would require anyone petitioning their government, using their constitutional rights, that old First Amendment, to wear a sign like this when asking people to sign a petition. Oh, not any petition, mind you. If they're gathering signatures, let's say to put Mark DeSaulnier on the ballot, they don't need a sign. But if they're working to put an issue on the ballot, something the voters might want that politicians like Mark DeSaulnier don't want, well, then, according to his law, they'd have to wear a big sign like this. It says paid signature gatherer. Or if you're a volunteer, your big sign would say volunteer signature gatherer. It would also have to say the county you're registered to vote in California. And since I'm not registered to vote in California, or if you're a California citizen who chooses not to register to vote, it would have to say not registered to vote. Now, it's a little silly that people would have to wear a sign to say what politicians want them to say when they're using their fundamental First Amendment rights. But that's what politicians in the legislature in California are now debating. Mark DeSaulnier believes citizens who gather signatures on an issue ought to be forced to wear a sign. In fact, a majority of state senators agree with him because they've already passed Senate Bill 448. This is soon to be the law in California if the state assembly agrees. It's a little scary. I can't help but think of some of the historical parallels. Totalitarian regimes forcing people to wear signs as a sort of punishment. And I don't think there's any question, one of the goals behind this sort of legislation, this sort of forced sign wearing, is to humiliate and punish those who would dare to use their rights to go around the legislature. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Mark DeSaulnier is a Nazi, or that the senators who voted for this ridiculous piece of legislation are Nazis. They're not. They're just mean-spirited, nasty, and acting with complete disregard to the constitutional rights of the people they're supposed to be representing. That's why I hope that you, if you're in California, and maybe even if you're not, might pay attention and contact legislators in California in the Assembly and ask them to vote no on Senate Bill 448.